Hey guys, welcome to Baby Girl's World. Those who know what they're in for. Those who don't, stay tuned, bitch!
That's committed, on the other hand. The only time they're willing to give up their person.
And I'm learning how to be patient from you. So you're a very good teacher with that. So I'm learning to be patient. I'm very happy you have taught me, and you're giving me and have given me to my new master, which is my soul. And so I'll try not to hurt you or whatever, or like scratch you with my teeth or anything. That's one of my biggest fears. I have to do a specific task, sir, and I did end up getting a knife. And if I know you, I know that you'll be planning to take over the world. Watch it burn. But you can't do it though. And so, like August 1st, you said that it would be alright as long as she didn't cause any trouble between us. And so that's why I accepted her friend request. And I wanted to talk it over with you. I'll prove to you by doing stuff to Nick. And one of the things that I can do is something that I can do, considering that you're probably more evil than I am. And I do have boundaries. So, I decided to wear something pretty for you. And I just wanted to tell you how much I love and adore you so very much. It was stupid of me to not ask permission because usually that you accepted. I didn't know if you was gonna. It just was an idea. And I thought, since Gypsy and Nick, then at times I could be a little bit stubborn. But hey, you'll get broken down and started crying and realized that we couldn't live without you. So, I'm happy that we're back together now. Because
knows I'm probably one of the most quiet people she knows. It's because I'm a critical thinker. I'm always thinking. I was looking at my freaking past lifetime.
I need you. So I won't say that again. I won't try and give away something that I've been meeting. I hope you all admit it. I have a habit of being kind of a know-it-all at times. Because then it would be your longest relationship. And I'm really happy because I feel so complete with you. Or that's my choice, is what she said. And I'm like, additional lasting love forevermore than she could ever give. That is very true, and I'm so happy that you are. I wonder what I did so right to deserve you. And the only thing I can think of is the woman that both of you want me to be is being.
You know, Ricky, he's the one taught me. Never since I was taught it from him, that's how I know what I. So
give me that unconditional love that I need. And
Listen, I'm behind, but I'm also speaking ahead a little bit. Let's start from the beginning. Welcome back to Baby Girl's World. And if you're new here, take a look around. I do a lot of Gypsy Rose content. I don't like her. She's a bitch. And that's kind of what we do here. We talk about the bitch, and we tell the truth for the truth train. But I put some jokes in here a little bit. I try to be a little bit lighthearted and funny at the same time, because this shit is hard, man. I can't always be serious about it. I'll go nuts. Okay? So I make little stupid jokes. Excuse me, I'm so sorry if it bothers you. You know what I'm saying? Everyone needs a good laugh in their life. You know? Don't knock it. So if you're new here, I hope you stick around. I hope I earn a subscribe from you after the end of this video. And then maybe, you start to really like my videos, and then you're like, oh, I want to become a member. And then you become a member. And you're going to be one of my lovelies. And I just have one price for all my members. And you guys get your videos a day early with no ads. And you get member shout-outs and a little song on my channel. It's a really good deal. You know what I'm saying? Really good deal. And I appreciate it with all my heart and soul. To my current members, I love you so much. I'm still working on trying to figure out that scrolling thing. Listen, sometimes it takes a bitch a minute to figure something out. Not only do I constantly forget to do it, but then when I do it, I get distracted. I'm really starting to piss myself off. Do you ever piss yourself off? Oh, sometimes I look in the mirror, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? What is this? You know? But anyways, I'm behind. I'm making videos. Oh, and if you're not new here, you know what the fuck is going. You know what the fuck is going on. Do you understand? You already got that. Oh, I'm behind because I made you know how I tell you guys I batch film, so I'll in one day do like 3 videos, and then I work on them all and put them out, you know, one after the other. Well, I did that. I recorded. I felt really good about it. I sat down. It was one problem after another. And then next thing you know, all of it got corrupted somehow through the editing app. And it wouldn't let me like upload it onto my phone or whatever. Oh my God, it was just a mess. So I just got rid of them all. And I said, you know what? I'm just going to do it over. You know, my subscribers will be understanding. You guys are always so wonderful and understanding. And I love you so much for that. I really, truly do. It's a great community here. I'm telling you what. I have found some really, really wonderful gems that I am so glad that I met and talked to on a daily. One of those friends was Ivory Rose Girls Wild for a while until she fucking went to full 360 and landed in Gypsy Rose's fucking lap. But I digress. We'll get to that. I do see I'm pissing myself off again. Knock it the fuck off, bitch. Hey, listen, don't be talking to me like that. Do you understand? Bitch, I don't give a fuck. Do you see what I'm doing right now? Oh my God. And I thought Gypsy Rose was nuts. I know not to murder my mother. That's a given. But some people don't. You know. Anyway, so we got member of the video, bitch. Ooh, it's Sandra Ward 2982928. She's a bitch. Yeah. See, that's the song that you get. That's what everybody gets. That song right there, and people love it. If you don't love it, well, I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. As a lot of YouTubers say, excuse me, I can't sing on my own channel. No, I don't want to. See, I don't understand that, though. The audience is basically our boss. You know, we listen to you guys, do what you guys want. And we communicate with you guys about what you want to talk about and everything like that. And I love that. I adore my community with you guys about the Gypsy Rose or the Gyp Stain files, as you guys say. It's awesome. But it's like, I don't understand how some YouTubers will get all cocky and be like, it's my fucking channel. Well, if you didn't have those viewers, you wouldn't have a fucking channel. So, bitch. Anyways. And we got 5 featured subscribers. I also do that every video. 5 people get shouted out. You don't get a song. Sorry. But you do get shouted out. So we got Barbara Johnson, Stephen Welch, Felicia R. Krakolisi, I think. I'm sorry. Jasmine Ashoff, and Lily. I meant to put that into Google Translate and see how it was supposed to be said. Damn it. I'm so sorry, honey. I hope I didn't offend by mispronouncing your name. But thank you for being a subscriber, and I hope you stick around. I didn't mean it, okay? So, this is going to be like a impromptu video. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you know how actors do that thing where they just like freely act? What is it called? Improv.
Sometimes I'll start a sentence and I don't even know where it's going. I just hope I find it along the way. Like an improv conversation. Improvisation.
That's going to be this video because I wrote a script, but I got other things to talk about too. So if it sounds like I'm an idiot or whatever, it's because some of it I don't have written down. I just have through memory and like what's on my computer. So, but I promise it'll still be good. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why I'm even saying that because it's not like I sit here like fucking the news people. You know, I don't know if you know what I mean, but it drives me nuts the way news people talk. But anyway, I'm babbling. Let's get to it too, shall we? we've got Gypsy Rose's wonderful podcast. What do you guys think about that podcast there? How blasphemous of you, Gypsy Rose, to be sitting there after you have literally broken most of the 10 Commandments, talking about God, thinking that's going to protect you from anybody talking about you, and you're trademarking your name, your podcast name, mind you, trademarking that, thinking, oh, no one can talk about me anymore. Bullshit. I know you're a little cognitively delayed, but maybe you should ask someone to help you before you make these stupid decisions. Right?
Friends, we just saw Gypsy Rose, not even a week ago, in one of her dadgum podcast clips, talking about how she was going to try not to be messy anymore, and anything that was out of her control, she was going to put in the Lord's hands. I'm going to tell you right now, Gypsy is not doing what she said. Her fingers are the ones that's been doing all the work over there on the YT. She has went over there and copyright struck Renelle Smith. As you can see, Renelle feels like a lot of us do, like Gypsy Rose is trying to control the narrative. Earlier this week, she got into the weeds on YT with a copyright strike, and proceeded to go over to Facebook, find their page, and copyright strike them over there too. And well, this morning she woke up with fire under her bum too, because honey, she has already been on the YT and got hate tea copyright struck. She tries to act so unbothered and, oh, I'm not gonna be messy, give it to the girl. You are doing everything you said you were not going to do. It's very clear you are bothered. Now, I just got sent this little post she put up too. Reminder, full re-uploads of my original content are not permitted. If YouTube flags a 100% match, I will file a claim. Fair use does not mean we're posting an entire video without transformation. This is standard content protection. All creators work hard to produce content, and that should be respected. You know what makes Gypsy Rose saying this so damn crazy? It's because her and so many of her little buddies have had people's videos taken down, pages reported, freaking pages completely lost because of their BS, because they didn't like what people said. Now that it's her stuff, oh no, protect my content, it's standard, respected. Honestly, I feel like Gypsy in this post right here is doing nothing but trying to explain away why she's having multiple people's damn videos taken down. I don't think she expected to have her name and Ken's posted up real big on the copyright strikes. She says that, oh, YouTube flagged it for 100%, but that one Into the Weeds damn copyright strike isn't even on YouTube, it's on Facebook, which means she went and she looked to find their damn page and copyright strike it. Hell, I've been on damn Facebook almost 20 years and I didn't even know they did copyright strikes. I don't know, it just seems like Gypsy Rose Alcida is using her free time to try to find new ways to hide that damn truth, but it's just my opinion for entertainment purposes only. That's not alleged. You see her, she did that shit.
Before you open the Bible and babble your fucking murderer mouth out about God to us, you better just shut the fuck up. That's honestly, just shut the fuck up. Like, how dare you now do this? I have found out so much in the last 48 hours that I'm mind blown. Okay? I'm going to try to stick to this script for a little while, but I have like shit that I want to, so excuse me if I seem off a little bit, you know? So, she's also created a website because apparently she thinks people are going to be drawn to this fucking bullshit. You know, I gotta watch. I just get so upset. She's out there like doing a podcast, doing this or that, always trying to be in the public eye. So you're a public figure, Gypsy Rose. People are going to talk about you, right? And you go out there in society and you talk about this or that, but the base of your existence on social media and everything, and the reason that people even know your fucking name, the core of that is you murdering your mother. That's not okay. I mean, oh shoot, I forgot I couldn't find it. Actually, well, here's Ashley Baby. She actually reads it all out. I wasn't able to find it right away, so I don't want to sit here and be looking forever, okay? So I'll just show you that real quick.
Me when I was little that I had posted yesterday or whatever, some people in my comments are trying to say that I had leukemia. Mm-hmm. Like, they're like, you know you had leukemia? Breathe. I never had leukemia. Like, what? Probably knew the truth, like my aunts and uncles on my mom's side and everybody, like they knew that I didn't have cancer. And so like that's what I was wondering is like, where is that even coming from that they're saying that?
Gypsy Rose Alcida has amnesia. She may not be affected by that microdeletion, honey, but she has selective amnesia, okay? She remembers she got the Make-A-Wish trip, but she don't know why they gave it to her. It couldn't have been the leukemia. The leukemia they said she had at the age of 5. The leukemia that is mentioned in multiple of her and her mother's Facebook posts when they're trying to get donations for Gypsy's trip. Lymphoblastic leukemia, history of. And again in another post, a history of lymphoblastic leukemia. Maybe Rod talking about it will jog her memory, because Rod said Dee Dee told him that Gypsy had what? Leukemia. Not only that, but Gypsy having that history of lymphoblastic leukemia is why she got all these meet and greets, went to galas, got the Disney thing. Come on now, ma'am. Suddenly, Gypsy is acting like she doesn't remember why did she get these things. I know Gypsy tried to say, well, my mom's side of the family, they probably knew I didn't have it. They probably knew I didn't have it. If Dee Dee's family knew, then so did Rod's family, because they were not only posting about the Make-A-Wish trip and her leukemia, they did a whole fucking article about Gypsy Rose, her leukemia, and Rod deserting their family. Louisiana ain't that big, especially down in them parishes and them little towns. Ain't no way people saw this shit and didn't run and tell Rod about it. Just like ain't no damn way that Rod didn't know that Gypsy was getting this Make-A-Wish trip because of leukemia. Gypsy Rose trying to act like, oh, I don't even know why people are saying this. That is her creating distance between her and that lie. That's all it is. She is literally in one of her documentaries talking about how when her attorney told her she didn't have cancer, she was like, I don't have cancer? What? If you haven't noticed, Gypsy has been rebranding into an unknowing witness. What? That was going on? I didn't know that. Yes, you were literally giving speeches around the country about your conditions at various conferences. I tell you, Miss Rose, the more lies you tell, the harder they get to keep up with. But that's just my opinion for entertainment purposes only, honey. But that was not alleged. That was her talking that shit.
The dream expert actually spoke to a licensed pathologist that studies the psychopathy of females, right? Perfect person to analyze Gypsy Rose, right? And he watched the 60 Minutes Australia episode, which I don't know if that was like the best thing for him to watch in hindsight, you know, but we'll see what happens right now.
So I had a very interesting conversation this morning with a credentialed psychopathologist who specializes in female psychopathy and who will be contributing to a little project that Becca and I have been working on. So of course we talked about Gypsy Rose Manson. Now he was vaguely familiar with her case, and after we initially spoke a few days ago, he looked her up and he watched the 60 Minutes Australia interview. And he said what immediately struck him was her manner when she was talking about the abuse and the murder. So I'm paraphrasing here, but he basically said she didn't speak like she had any sort of emotional connection to the traumatic events. And to him, that was a big red flag. Here is an example.
And when she was killed, where were you?
I was in the bathroom.
Could you hear her?
I could. And in that moment, like, I wanted to help her. Like, the thoughts in my head was, I want to help. But I was almost paralyzed in my own skin to move.
It seems very matter of fact, doesn't it? Like she's just talking about what happened at work today. Now, let's compare that with Jordan Turpin, who actually did live in a house of horror with her siblings, who were actually chained to their beds, who were physically abused, who were forced to live in filth, and were completely sheltered, to the point that when Jordan escaped, she didn't even know what medication was when the rescuing officer asked her if she was taking any. This is an example of a real trauma survivor trying to talk about it.
I was trying to dial 911, but I couldn't even get my thumb to press the buttons because I was shaking so bad.
Real trauma survivors have a hard time talking about their trauma because going there is overwhelming. Even years later, Jordan has a hard time talking about it.
What's that like for you? I'm not going to get too much into it, but it was the motivation of saving my siblings and I, because I don't know what would have happened if we just stood for even another year, because it was just getting worse.
Now, let's look at the escape. This is Jordan, who did not kill her abusers, but instead escaped the very moment she got the chance, and in fear for her life, in order to save her siblings, and immediately told the officer about her abuse.
You have pictures of your sisters chained up?
Yes, I don't have proof of everything, but I have proof that my sisters are chained up.
Who took this picture?
13. I did. I took those pictures.
Okay. You make sure to save these, okay?
Okay, I will.
Don't get rid of those.
I will. I won't.
And here is Gypsy after her escape.
He's eating a brownie. But later he will be eating me.
One of these women escaped abuse. The other escaped accountability. In my opinion. What do you think?
And he stated that he noticed that there was no emotional attachment to when she would speak about the crime. Like, I was with a very abusive man. Very abusive for years. Okay? And I'm not proud of that. I'm not proud of staying with him and subjecting my children to seeing abuse or anything. I'm not proud of that at all. I was just lost in my own head very young. I had his first child when I just turned 18. So it was hard. I grew up basically with my children because I was, it was not the right time for me to have children, basically. But whenever I would try to talk about the abuse before I went to therapy, there were still things that I can't talk about without bursting into tears. Okay, for a long time, it was just about everything that I couldn't talk about. I would just sob and sob. And it's like I had to get all of that out for those things. But there are still some things. There are. Definitely are. And there was nothing like that with her at all in any interview, if you think about it. None of them. And she was all joyful afterwards and, had role-playing sex with her boyfriend, with her dead mother laying in the next room, which I find to be so appalling. And then they go to the motel and she's laughing and giggling. She said there's something where Nick said that he was crying and sobbing, and she told him that he needed to be quiet.
On January of 2018, People magazine wrote an article, and in this article, they have a quotation from Nicholas Godejohn stating what happened at the hotel after him and Gypsy got there. I'm going to read you just that insert. So the name of the article was How a Young Woman Forced to Use a Wheelchair, Treated for Several Illnesses, Ended Up in Prison for Her Mother's Unaliving. So like I said, this quotation in particular was from Nicholas Godejohn himself in the article. And he says, I felt horrible about it. When me and her were in the hotel room, she kept on telling me, stop crying, stop crying. There's no reason to cry. It was my idea. It wasn't yours, Godejohn told 2020 in an exclusive interview from jail. Gypsy comforted me about it. I prayed once I got here. I tried to get her mother's soul to forgive me. As many times as we have literally seen Nicholas Godejohn showing empathy compared to the amount of times we have seen Gypsy Rose showing empathy is 1,000 to 0. Literally. I don't think I've ever seen Gypsy genuinely showing any kind of empathy for what she has done, but I have seen Nicholas, even down to the very day whenever they were arrested in the interrogation room, of him showing signs of empathy and how bad he felt for what he did. He truly felt that he was saving her. In that article, it does go on to say that he actually said he was trying to protect her and save her, not because of abuse, but because of Gypsy telling Nick that her mother was going to pass away anyways, and he was just doing his duty to try to basically take Dee Dee out of her misery early, if you will. But that was all a misconception and lie that Gypsy told him to manipulate him. Anyways, I wanted to make another video about this because I made it a long time ago, I think last year, and I thought it was super interesting, and I think more people should see that part because more people are interested now because of the new videos coming out. So,
or shut up or something like that. And I would have punched the bitch in the mouth. Right then and there. You fucking... At that moment, your hands are bisexual. Nick, you should have knocked the fucking shit out of her. Oh. I'm sorry. I don't condone abuse. I shouldn't say that. But at the same time, she says things that are just so repulsive and awful and just evil-spirited that that's the first thing that comes to mind. Like, how dare you? You know what I mean? And there's like all kinds of studies online I was looking at where why people just can't be accountable. Why do liars do what they do? Like, it's just, it goes beyond pathological lying when it's every detail. In fact, here's one of those gems I heard about online. Apparently, allegedly, this is just my opinion for entertainment and educational and informational purposes only. Okay? With that being said, allegedly, the whole entire story, here, I'll tell you it. From my source, this says that allegedly that the narrative of Gypsy being abandoned by her father and Christy and Rod not knowing where Gypsy and Dee Dee lived and the Petrie family not having any contact with them is a fucking lie. Rod was paying $1,200 a month in child support, which we just recently found out, and was sending money for extra shit too. They were making plans to see each other and were in constant contact through Facebook, as those messages are in the link. My source seems to think that they made that story up to justify the murder and to make money out of it. Like, oh my God, we're just finding out. She was even allowing Rod to claim Gypsy on his income taxes because she was on SSI, and he would then send her a few $100s when he got his return. He also had access to the hospitals, and Dee Dee encouraged him to call the doctors to check on Gypsy. She was even buying Christy's kids Christmas gifts. If she was such a bitch, then why is it that when Rod sent her $100 more than what he normally sent her, she immediately contacted him and told him to check with his bank because there was a mistake. She had received too much money. Oh, she's such a conniving, conning bitch. Right, grifting Rose. The only one that I know about that does that kind of shit is you, Rod, and Chrissy. There's some weird shit going on with you three. And then get this. I'm going to go to this link in a second here. This video is going to be a good one, bitch. And then get this. So, who knows? I've got a video sent to me from my source as well. What?
You know, Cook would do for his wife to let her try to do it first.
Hey.
You didn't mess it up. You're good.
Okay, thank you.
Bye, everybody. Bye, everybody.
Maybe I'm recording. Anyway, so, I don't remember what I was talking about. Oh, so, my source sent me a video, right? Apparently, Ivory Rose Grows Wild and her husband got into it a lot and are now separated. And apparently, she was saying some really horrible things about their relationship, and he's responding, saying that it's a terrible fucking lie. So I'm going to show you his video, and I'm going to try to find the video of her talking about it. But I don't know if I'm blocked because her and I used to talk. We used to be friends. And then all of a sudden she flipped and went to Gypsy. I have no idea. It really was upsetting because I told her personal things. And now that's just, I can't believe that still. I know everybody's not like that, but I don't understand why you would sit there and call yourself my friend and know the whole time that you are fucking with me. You know what I mean? Doesn't make any sense.
How's it going, TikTok? So, this is Ivory Rose ex-husband. I don't know what to say. Like, I'm here to just address rumors about the domestic abuse. Like, she's making TikToks and YouTube saying that, like, I beat her and that she survived abuse and all this other stuff. Like, I don't get it. Like, we were together for 13 years. I mean, there was never a time to whenever, like, I hit her. There's never a time I touched her, slapped her, pushed her, Nothing. I take that back. I have pushed her, and that's because she has came at me, man, like swinging crazily. Like, I don't know what else to say. Like, and she made some video talking about, like, you see with this pole. She was in my house while I was sleeping, probably like a day or two after Christmas, talking about, oh man, you see this pole? It was never there. You know, if I'd had a video, he'd be in jail. Like, dude, if you had been in video, all it would have seen was me sleeping and then waking up and being like, what's up? Like, me and her, we just separated again because the day after Christmas, I caught her in her lies saying she was going somewheres and she wasn't there. Then she got her mom to lie saying that, oh, she was at her house whenever I drove by like 4 or 5 times to see. She wasn't there. Then hours later, she's like, oh, I went to Gypsy and Christy's house. I knew you wouldn't let me go. What are you talking about? I let the chick go sleep the day before Christmas. I don't get it. Like, y'all seen her. She was on live with Gypsy. I drove her there. I picked her up. No problems. Now, because I caught her in a lie, and I'm like, you gotta go. We're not together anymore. Now she's making all these TikToks about me abusing her. Like, where's it at? Why she hasn't called the cops? Why has she only made TikToks about abuse? Like, I don't get it. Like, my mom was abused growing up. I got taken out of my house, my mom's house, when I was 5 years old. 5. Dude put my mom in the hospital beating her. Nothing. Who? I don't get it. I'm not controlling. I don't, like, all I ask is for honesty and just to be nice and cool. She's not. Like, this chick is a receptionist, and then she'll come home and act like she did 12 hours in the shipyard. Like, oh, I'm so tired, I can't do this. Oh, I ain't been away, let me watch TV. You don't need to watch this, let me do this. It's like, come on, man. Come on. Like, I pay all the bills, all income, because I'm a disabled veteran. I only get paid once a month. One time. My thing was, my money, I paid all the bills and everything. She was supposed to be the fun money, but we were always broke. So then, what does that cause? Tension. So we would fight, argue, and fight. Fight and argue, screaming and hollering. But never, not once, did it ever come to the point to when somebody put their hands on the person. Well, like, somebody has put their hands on the person, but it ain't me. So, I mean,
tell me what you think in the comments. I believe the husband, because Ivory Rose Grows Wild has done nothing but fucking deceive. You know what I mean? She doesn't have any credibility with me whatsoever. You know, and her husband seems very legit to me. You know what I mean? And honestly,
I got some tea and it is hot. So, did you know that Gypsy Rose Blanchard paid $1,500 for Woo Woo Bestie to leave her husband and get her own place? And Christy Blanchard went there to go get Woo Woo Bestie stuff out of her house while her husband was sleeping? And Woo Woo Bestie, I got some tea, but be careful, this shit is hot. So, did y'all know that Gypsy paid $1,500 for Woo Woo Bestie to leave her husband and get her own place? Gypsy, you paid $1,500 for Woo Woo Bestie, but didn't bail Bree out of jail? Oh, what a best friend you are. So, did you also know that Christy Blanchard herself went to Woo Woo's Bestie's house with her to collect all her belongings as Woo Woo's husband slept? Told you I got the tea. If you want the rest of it, go check out Keys Live right now. I got some tea in it. So, y'all, let me clarify a few things, because some of y'all are looking at my woo-woo post and getting a little So, I just want to tell y'all, I talk about what is put online, okay? So, Woo-woo and her ex-man are putting this shit all over social media, which is very white trashy. But hey, you know what? It's content. It's entertaining. You just want to argue online? I'm gonna watch. Why? It's a free Netflix show. No subscription fee. Okay? Did she have domestic VDB in her life? I don't know. I have no fucking clue. I know what she says, I know what he says, and I don't care what either one of them say. I'm just watching. I'm not picking sides. I'm picking the show. I want to see the show. Okay? I hope that clarifies a few things, because I would never invalidate a DV survivor.
He said something about she was always wanting him to drop her over by Gypsy and Christy's house. So what is that saying? Right there. Gypsy and Christy's house? So she must be staying there, right? I mean, I'm just going off what he said. Language is key, you know? So I guess that's the story there. And she was constantly wanting to go over there. Now, what does that mean? Is she, like, leave her husband so that she could be a lesbian lover with Gypsy Rose and Ken? I don't understand. I wouldn't put it past her, to be honest with you. She's a gross bitch. She really, truly is. She needs help. I mean, oh. And people that cannot be accountable and narcissists will always weaponize your boundaries against you. Like, what are they? Oh, okay. Let me look it up really quick to get a good example. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's like narcissists may use emotional manipulation to make you feel guilty or paranoid, leading to you over-explaining or trying to give them every single detail because you feel like you have to. You know what I'm saying? And they do a lot of gaslighting and shit like that. And I feel like Gypsy Rose does that a lot with, like, Ken and Ryan especially, you know. And she does that to manipulate. It's not because she really does feel that emotion about whatever certain thing or whatever. She just wants to manipulate to get what she wants. She just wants to manipulate to get what she wants, you know. And I see that a lot in Amber Lynn too. I do some content on Amber Lynn, and I definitely see her doing that a lot, you know, because if you set a boundary and they don't want to abide by your boundary, and then they kind of like, they'll either make fun of it or make you feel unworthy some kind of way, you know, so then you let down your guard, you put down your boundary for them, and it's like, what are you doing? No. Like this says here, a narcissist will push you until you break, right? And I think that Gypsy Rose did that a lot with her mother. She just kept pushing and pushing and pushing. And until Dee Dee was like, finally, like, I'm looking up some homeless shelters. That's what her search had in it was. She was looking for mental health help for Gypsy Rose. But the very last ones were homeless shelters. Like, I think she wanted to get that bitch out of there. And then there's pictures here in the FOIA paperwork of Gypsy Rose's bedroom. It looks all torn apart. There's garbage bags full of stuff. Like, she was going to have to come back and get her shit. And then when your stuff is all in disarray like that, it's usually that you're like moving or whatever. You know what I mean?
These are from Dee Dee's search history. We see several searches where she's looking up dialysis, what kidney dialysis is, how it works, why someone would need it. Because dialysis isn't something you Google out of boredom. It is not a fun late night rabbit hole type of search. These searches strongly suggest that Dee Dee was dealing with serious and real health concerns during this time. And that matters because chronic illness changes everything. Stress level, your patience, your tolerance for chaos, your ability to even manage conflict. Someone who is sick, exhausted, and scared about their health is already operating at a deficit. Alongside those health-related searches, we start to see something very different. We start to see things like 5 drugs kids steal most often from parents. And this one is a little harder to see, but this is where she is searching what to do when your kid steals your medicine. These are not just random searches. These are searches when you think that something is missing, or when you're trying to confirm a suspicion. And when you pair this with serious health issues, that becomes even more concerning, because missing medication isn't just annoying, it can be dangerous. Next, you can see where Dee Dee looks up Greene County Sheriff's Office. Now, this does not automatically mean that someone is planning to call the cops, but it does suggest that Dee Dee was looking for other options, looking into boundaries, or trying to understand what steps even existed to take next. People do not usually Google the police unless something feels out of their control. But the searches that come next are also pretty interesting, because they don't show Dee Dee jumping straight to punishment, but rather looking for help, because the next ones are not about arresting her. The searches after that are for parent-child interaction therapy. And that tells us something important, that this doesn't look like rage. It looks more like somebody trying to figure out how to fix a situation. It suggests that there was conflict in the home, but there was also behavioral concerns or a relationship that felt broken or unsafe. This isn't about anger. This looks like somebody, again, searching for a solution. However, something had to have changed because the searches escalate and they go from therapy to this. Dee Dee begins looking for homeless shelters, searching through Springfield's local directories, and checking out multiple options. She even begins looking on Facebook to see what options she can find there. And she's not doing this for fun. This is location specific, age specific, and resource specific. This is proof that Dee Dee was looking for real world alternatives to get Gypsy out of her house. And whether or not Dee Dee intended to act on it, the searches alone suggest she may have been considering a very major change. This is not a maybe someday Googling situation. This is what are my options type of Googling situation. So let's put this all together and look at the full picture. With a relatively short window of time, Dee Dee is dealing with serious health issues. She's researching dialysis. She's looking into stolen drugs. She searches for the police. She's looking into therapy. And then she is researching homeless and youth shelters. This doesn't look random. This looks like an escalation, and not an explosive escalation, but a situational one. A person who is sick, under stress, possibly being stolen from, and trying to regain control of a household that may have felt unmanageable. So here's the question that
it was not neat at all in that room. I don't know how they had sex in there, to be quite honest with you. I don't know why she just won't come out and be honest about it. And it's because narcissists don't like to feel like failures. So she's going to do whatever she can to make sure nobody really finds out the truth, right? Excuse me. Her goofy ass friend Bree will let it slip at some point. I bet. I would put money on that, but I don't have any right now. I'd have to do it IOU. You know what I'm saying? It's hard times. Hard times.
I read an interesting article the other day by Brandy Ann Kay called "When Psychopaths Go to Church." I'll link the article in the description. But this article explains how religion can be used as camouflage. And not because faith is fake, but because faith communities are trained to trust first and question last. And that is exactly why this matters when we talk about Gypsy Rose Blanchard. And first, let's just shut down the biggest lie that she's even trying to sell right now, and that's that she has found God. Because religion has always been a part of Gypsy's life. She was raised in it, and she spoke the language of faith long before prison. So this isn't some spiritual awakening that Gypsy is having. It's just another rebrand and another performance by her. Because every time Gypsy's narrative starts to crack, every time inconsistencies surface, the image changes. And she's most definitely not showing growth. She is escaping accountability. The article explains why people like Gypsy Rose Blanchard end up gravitating toward the high trust environment or groups. Church is perfect because once you say, I've given it to God, or I've been forgiven, or I'm redeemed now, then people will stop asking about her lies, her contradictions, her accountability and responsibility to the truth. So scrutiny becomes judgment and questions become hate. Gypsy has a documented history of role-playing identities to manage perception of her. So when someone like Gypsy has this kind of history, we see it as what it is, adopting yet another role. And so now she's the Christian woman beyond reproach. But we're not celebrating that, but we are definitely evaluating this. Gypsy stated she's given her burden to God, therefore she doesn't owe anyone an explanation for her deception, lies. Just let that sink in for a minute. Gypsy isn't using religion to confront truth or take accountability, but she's using religion in an attempt to end the conversation. And I'm not seeing this as repentance. I'm seeing this as her trying to get complete immunity. And let's not forget that the Bible has very strong warnings about false prophets and murderers of parents. Jesus reinforced the principle, judge by the fruit, not appearances. In other words, Faith is not a free pass for lies, deception, or manipulation, but it is accountability, and Gypsy is avoiding that at all costs. Exodus 20:13, Leviticus 29 says murdering a parent is extremely severe, both morally and legally, also punishable only by death. Gypsy's actions strike at the core of what Scripture calls sacred. The part of the article that speaks about the wolf in sheep's clothing is just way too on the nose to ignore. Gypsy has said before that she identifies as part wolf. These are people who learn how to look harmless and sound righteous and blend into communities that are built on trust. When someone with a lifelong pattern of role-playing shows you who they are, you should probably listen to them. This is by no means an attack on Christianity, but it is a warning of what happens when faith replaces discernment. Forgiveness does not erase patterns, redemption does not cancel accountability, and prayer does not turn your deception into truth. The most dangerous wolf isn't the one that is snarling at you. It is the one who is now kneeling and speaking scripture and convincing you that asking questions makes you the problem. The Bible or religion doesn't protect liars who invoke God to avoid accountability. It condemns them. It says, judge by fruit, not by performance, by truth, not tears, by pattern, not prayer. So, Gypsy, you don't get to rewrite history while you're quoting scripture now. You don't get absolution while you're refusing to be honest, and you don't get to hide behind God after spending a lifetime hiding the truth. Her story just keeps changing, her roles keep shifting, and she starts talking about God when the videos and the emails, the messages, and all the proof comes out, and the questions are too uncomfortable for her to answer. The Bible is very clear, Gypsy, about people who invoke God while lying. In Scripture, a false prophet isn't just someone who predicts the future wrong. It's someone who speaks in God's name while serving their own agenda. In the Old Testament, that wasn't treated gently, and it was one of the gravest offenses. Because false prophets don't just lie, they weaponize faith, mislead people, and hide corruption behind holiness. Jesus warned that false prophets don't look evil. They look convincing, they say the right things, they appear righteous. And he said the test is simple. Not words, not claims, not tears, fruit. When someone uses God to shut down questions, to excuse deception, or to declare themselves beyond accountability, that is not faith. That is exactly what Scripture warns us about. Gypsy is definitely the wolf in sheep's clothing. And it's just another character playing another part for another rebrand. But this time, Gypsy, people aren't falling for it.
So, I mean, that just tells me that it's not a slip of the tongue. You know what I mean? Language is key. You gotta listen to words people use. Amber Lynn likes to fuck with language a lot. You know, be like, no, this is what I said actually, and this is what I meant, and she'll change. She's a mess. Anyway. And then Ken had posted this picture a few days after Christmas or a few days after New Year's, I can't remember. And I'll be honest with you, Vicky did a video talking about being from Texas, and she knows what it looks like, and the picture looks like I don't know if she said like the coast of Texas or whatever. I don't know for sure. You'll hear her what she says in the video because I forgot. Okay, I'm sorry. I really am. And I can't look because it's on my phone. My phone is... Do you want... Okay, all right. Please forgive me. But it was like a bunch of steers out there. And that's what I think of when I think of Texas. And I think that's probably maybe what he was trying to do. Like, here, I'm going to let everybody know just by posting this picture. You know, you never know. You never know. These people are all about, you know, riddles and puzzle pieces, and it's like a Rubik's Cube of dumbasses that we're all trying to figure out.
Ken Arker has resurfaced, y'all. So there's been some rumors and some speculation on whether or not he and Gypsy even live in the same house. We've hardly seen him. I think the last time we saw him was Aurora's birthday and a couple of pictures, and Christmas a couple of pictures. But Gypsy doesn't talk about him hardly anymore. There's been nothing, no mention. She's even removed him from her page, and, you know, on her website, she just says she's a partner. To who? Anyways, let's look at what he posted on his Insta this morning. So Ken posted this morning on his Gram story, work views today. Well, we all know he was working like at a refinery or something, and this looks a lot like the refineries in Baytown, Galveston area, right off the coast of Texas. Now, of course, that's just all me and what I know of the Texas coast, because that's where I'm from. But if our theory is right, Baytown is, or that area is nowhere near Cut Off, Louisiana, which we know is where she's staying. And I'm not going to say addresses or anything, but supposedly, and I haven't verified this, but supposedly on her trademark application, she listed Christy's address, which is in Cut Off. Ken showing...
And I do also want to know why he went after her while she was in prison. Why did any of those guys do that? And are pigs. You know what I'm saying? Oink, motherfucking oink, bitch. And, Gypsy Rose Blanchard. You are looking so thin, and I'm not thin shaming or anything like that. I'm just saying, you told us when you went to prison that your mom was like starving you, and the first time I had any real food was in prison, which is not true. So obsessed with your figure back then, even that you were refusing to eat. And they had to put a feeding tube in because you were literally just letting yourself deteriorate. And it was coming up, though, as well. You were having trouble swallowing, all that jazz. So, which is failure to thrive. You know what I mean? And can they continue to have failure to thrive into adulthood with the microdeletion?
Well, honey, somebody has done seen Gypsy Rose Alcida out in the wild, and baby, would you look how little she is? I'm not even gonna sit here and lie to you. I didn't even think it was her at first, but then when you get up close, it's definitely Gypsy Rose Alcida with her shaved head. In case you don't remember, this is what Gypsy Rose Alcida looked like when she got out of prison. Healthy, like she'd been eating, like she was holding some weight on her, you know what I'm saying? This is her after being out 2 years, having a baby and some more shit, honey, and she is as little now as she was before she went in. See, back then, she'd tell us, oh, my mama wouldn't let me eat. She only gave me nutrition through a feeding tube. That's why I was so little. What is your excuse now, ma'am? Do you still have failure to thrive? Are you malnourished now? Is Ken not feeding you? Is it him this time? You know what I think it is? I think it is Gypsy Rose Alcida who puts certain restrictions on the things she eats. I think it is her who doesn't like to intake all the nutrition she needs to keep weight on her motherfucking butt. Gypsy Rose has always been obsessed with her damn figure, even in the damn emails and videos that you see her doing with Nick. She is obsessed with her body shape and the fact she has an hourglass figure. Not like a pear, but like an hourglass. Well, I'm just gonna go ahead and guess she wasn't feeling like, her thickness was giving off that hourglass figure. So what'd she do? Stopped eating, just like she did with her damn mama. Just like how on those mother-freaking medical documents, it says Gypsy Rose had a feeding aversion. You don't know what a feeding aversion is? It's when a baby or a child consistently resists or refuses to eat even when hungry, often due to negative associations with past feeding experiences like pain, stress, or discomfort. We know that when Ken took Gypsy Rose's ass out to eat and tried to get her to try some damn octopus, Gypsy took her ass to the bathroom and cried. Also seen on Gypsy Rose's damn documentary when Ken flat out told her, well, you don't eat. Gypsy got upset. Oh, you can't say that. People are going to think I'm not feeding myself. So yeah, I think this whole damn time, it wasn't Dee Dee who was keeping Gypsy all skinny and poorly. It was Gypsy doing that shit. And I think Gypsy has some fear of gaining weight and being heavy like her mama. But that's just my opinion for entertainment purposes only, honey. But this is not alleged. That's Gypsy Rose right there, honey.
Because, when you look at some of the crime scene photos, there's a lot of food in that kitchen. There's 2 plates in the sink with 2 sets of silverware. There's, 2 cups. There's everything in doubles. So you were either eating together or Dee Dee was making a plate for the ghost. What was it? And then it looks like your mom used to take the leftovers and freeze them. You know what I'm saying? Like my mother used to do. We used to plan our meals every week usually, and we would make sure that was all we got at the grocery store. There was nothing super extra. Okay? And that's a good way to do it. You put the leftovers away and you don't waste any damn food. Wasting food is a sin. Oh. But it's just so wild to see you so thin like that. I hope you're doing well. I know I don't like you very much, but I don't wish illness on anyone. Apparently, according to the searches, that Miss Gypsy Rose Alcida Blanchard was the one that was stealing her medications, because she looked up what kind of medications do children usually steal from their parents. Come on. That gives it away right there. I mean, all these Facebook posts and all that and the search histories, I mean, basically give away the whole crime scene to you. Tell it all. You know what I'm saying? How everything went beforehand. You know, it's crazy. And then the fight happened. Next thing you know, she's excited to do this. She's happy about it. If you notice, it was like she was getting aroused. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just... Anyway, guys, I have a couple other videos I want to get done. I am so happy that you sat with me listening to me babble. My next video, I'm going to be getting more into the FOIA documents of stuff maybe we haven't talked about. I don't know. We're going to see. I got to look. Have a wonderful night. I love you. May you sleep well. Be blessed, my friends. Oh, you. I love you. Bitch. Okay, I'll stop. You're probably like, shut the fuck up.